Hey, what's going on, my Evercade Confused? My name is PGPYT. Welcome to the channel. And today, we're going to be asking the age-old question. Will we see more Atari games on Evercade? Now, this is this is a question which a lot of people, obviously, we don't know. But let's look at the basics first of all, right? As you can see in front of me, we have the 5 Atari-themed collections. I say themed because technically, I believe 2 of the collections, Atari Lynx 1 and Lynx 2, aren't actually made by Atari. They're just games from Songbird that were on Atari Lynx. Now, we have the Atari console collections behind the Atari Arcade collection. So, it begs the question, will we see more Atari games on Evercade? Now, that's a good question. Like I said, we don't actually know. Blaze hasn't confirmed anything. But what we do know is Atari does have another console that isn't really emulated that much with the Atari 5200. As well as there being other Atari 7800 games made by Atari that aren't available. And also other Atari 2600 games, as well as, the possibility of more Atari Lynx games coming in the future, and more Atari Arcade we don't really know much about Atari's history in the arcade, so they might have some more games for that, they might not. I'm not entirely sure. But, as of now, we know that doesn't seem to be any plans to add more Atari games, which is quite an interesting idea, because, like I said, Atari kind of was a footnote in gaming. They kind of started the whole thing. Games like Pong and Asteroids, blew up, became really successful. And it all comes down to really if they can emulate them and if Atari wants to play ball. Now, obviously, Atari has the Atari VCS, so it is possible Atari may not want to release games on Evercade anymore, although I'm pretty sure Atari would like the extra revenue, the extra fusion of cash, so that is all possible. Now, Atari has started releasing new games, like there are the Asteroids Recharge and Centipede Recharge and, Breakout Recharged. Those games are great, as well as they've released a new puzzle platforming game recently. I forgot the name, but if Atari could port them to Evercade, that'd be amazing. That'd be great. We'd have some modern Atari games available on the platform to play on the go or at home on the VS. However, those would need to be ported, which is quite a big issue. Now, I'm not saying it would be impossible, especially since Atari has released games on Evercade before, but obviously we don't actually know if it would be possible to port them, which could lead to issues with emulation or, just playing them, which would have to be, fixed with Wi-Fi updates, and we don't really want to worry about having to do all that sort of stuff. So, do I think we'll have more Atari games in the future on Evercade? I think it's possible. I think it's quite possible. There are, like I said, they could add more 2600 games, 7800 games, or they could get more Lynx stuff, or they could go out and they could grab the Atari 5200, get an emulator for that, maybe bring some of those games over. It's all fair game. So especially since Atari has already shown interest in Evercade, they've released several collections for Blaze on the platform, so they are clearly interested in making more. They could be interested in making more games in game collections on Evercade, because there's just so many of them. However, that's also another issue with looking at all the games they've got on Evercade already. Would we need another Atari collection? Because we've already got so many games from the platform, from the system, or not from the system, from the publisher. It's quite an interesting conundrum. But with games like Asteroids, and Centipede and all that sort of stuff already on Evercade, is there really much more Atari can really add besides their newest games? I'm not entirely sure. They did make some computers like the Atari 400 and the Atari 800, so maybe they could bring some of those games over if they still own them. But that's all up for speculation, guys. As of now, there's nothing that's been confirmed for Atari games on Evercade. If there's going to be more in the future, which, if there is, great. We need more games preserved. We need more games on Evercade anyway. I know we just got the Japanese Toeplane and Irem collections announced, but I think Evercade could really benefit from having some other games from other publishers as well. Like, I know Atari is quite big, and people know Atari, and Atari has basically released their games on every platform. But it would be interesting to see more games from Atari, maybe some more Link stuff. Maybe on our Atari Arcade Collection 2, if that's possible. There's just so many games in Atari's catalogue, especially with some of the modern stuff. If they could put the modern stuff to Evercade, that'd be amazing. Because I don't really want to, download the games on my Xbox, and waste my time and whatnot. But I don't know for now, but I do think Evercade and Atari might have, some more games coming in the future. They may not. We never know. Anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts. And remember, for those who are wondering, this is going to be a new little mini series I'm going to do. I'm going to look at companies that have released multiple collections on Evercade, and basically look at if they've got a future on Evercade, if they're going to release more games, what's the likelihood. And for me, I think the likelihood we might have seen all of Atari. We might not have. We might see an Atari Arcade 2, more Atari Lynx collections. We never know. But as of right now, I think Atari on Evercade has been quite big. They've released quite a few games, and they may want to take a break from Atari for a little while. Anyway, guys, I've been PGP. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you like Atari? Do you want to see more Atari games on Evercade? Do you think Atari's got enough games on Evercade? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.